All right. In the grand scheme of things, I didn't want to do this. I have heard about this game, Eternights. I've heard about this game for a while now, like almost a year. And apparently, this is a game made by one person, which, not say much, but apparently it's one of the most cringiest games in recent years. I didn't want to play this, but I have been pestered by my friend Smug multiple times around this game, and she's been like, "Oh man, what if I make you play this game? Oh man, like next time I get money, you're gonna play this game and whatnot." And it's just like in and out for months, in and out for the foreseeable months, almost a year now. She's been she's been bringing this game up, and she's been saying that she wants me to pay pay for it and everything. She wants to pay her to play it and everything. She's never done that, so basically I said, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself." So I don't think I'll have any intention of keeping this game because from what I've heard about it and what I've somewhat seen about it, I really don't think I'll like this game. But apparently, if this will get if this will get her alongside like a bunch of people to like stop, you know, telling me, "Hey, play this game." Maybe this will be worth it. I guess I don't know. Like I have no intention to actually keep this game. So I started it up, and it is a black screen. Already, great sign. Just fantastic. Yeah. So the consensus I've heard about this game from majority of people is that this is basically Persona meets Dark Souls. And considering that this was made by apparently made and created by one person, that doesn't reassure me considering that there's another game that tried to be a Persona like with another game like there was another game in particular that tried to essentially make a triple like essentially try to copy AAA games and put them all in one. So yeah, that like the fact of it trying like apparently people are saying this is Persona but uh Dark Souls combined together doesn't exactly inspire hope in me really. In fact, it feels like this is setting me up for disappointment. If anything, because now I'm going to be comparing it to those two. Ugh. But I don't know. Like I said though, I've seen a little bit on this game. And I've seen a little bit about this game, and like what I've seen, both screenshots and dialogue wise, I don't like. I don't know how the rest fares, but I'm gonna have to see. So, with that said, I guess sure, normal mode. I don't care. This has multiple languages. Oh, Japanese and Korean. Fuck it. Go with English. I don't care. Strong mind to play this game with a controller. So what if I was playing with a PC keyboard? How well if I was playing with a touchpad? Steam Deck has a touchpad. May 23rd.
You brought this on yourself.
That's always a good sign. I play this game, I start it up, I don't like it, and it says you brought this upon yourself. That's always a good sign. Who the fuck are you?
Okay, now we just need to fill out your dating bio.
Wait, hold on. I think I know that voice. Is that Alejandro Saab?
So, who are you?
I'm not. I'm not being immersed in this. Fuck it. Let's see here. Carlos. Spicy. I can only go. Well, if I can only have so many, fuck it. Crap, I'm trying to think of a joke name, but all of them are way too long. That's what she said. I don't know. Him. Him.
I know what your name is. Smartass. But to get girls online, you have to be more than a smartass. You have to be serious.
Do I have to?
Do you want to be alone?
Yes.
Great. Now we just need a strong opening line for your bio.
I just said I wanted to be alone. What the fuck? I hate dating apps.
Hating isn't going to get you girls, dude.
Yeah, you don't know about that.
Fine. I'll just write down that you're boring.
I don't care. What does your profile say?
Look, my bio says I can save them from their boring, loveless lives.
Already I can kind of tell. This is written by someone who is trying to be like, I'm the nice guy, why can't I get the girl type writing. Has it ever worked?
It will work.
Meaning it's not.
Online dating is a free-for-all with a we get nothing.
You mean like you? Also, what the fuck are with these poses and these expressions?
Okay, you're funny, and girls like jokes. So, do you have any?
I have you.
That you do. You know what? I'm going to write that you're a lovable smartass. Now we have to pretty you up in Picture Shop. Don't worry, I'm really good. What? Everybody does it. Look at me.
Yeah. I can already tell what type of game this is. Like, if I wasn't already, that's awesome.
God. Oh, dude. By the way, I need to show you something.
You didn't answer. Wow. Sure, why not?
The Eternights miracle anti-aging drug is now set for its global launch tomorrow.
Anti-aging drug? That's... For what purpose and who are you using it on? Because this is already kind of sus.
No, not that.
Well, that said so much about her. Cool.
Right? Isn't Yuna just amazing?
If you can't tell, I am actually, like, honestly cringing. This is...
Her channel has like 50 billion views.
This is gonna be a long day.
And dude, who knows? If we work really hard on our profiles...
Oh god, no. No, don't say it.
Maybe even girls like her will swipe right
Oh
on them.
god.
Anyway, the pre-sale of her tickets already started. Do you want to come? Okay, we didn't get any swipes today, but we don't want things to be too easy, yeah?
Why even bother?
Ah, come on. It's not the end of the world.
Let me take a guess. It's gonna be the end of the world.
I'll see you, dude.
I just got a feeling that more so this is just like this game's version of foreshadowing. Okay, I am sort of joking, though. Sure, I don't care. Whatever.
Dude, this new dating app is blowing up right now.
Stop sending me these.
This one is cool. It gives you a personality test.
Oh
and
god,
then,
not that type of shit.
based on that test, it matches you with someone.
Did anyone hear about the fucking, like, outdated wife test that got popular? Like, it basically tests you on how good of a wife you are. But it goes by, like, I think, I don't know, it's like old school Christian values. Like, if you take your kids to church and whatnot. Hence, like, I think, like, a number of girls, including Shy Lily, have done it and have gotten 0 on it. I look at that and I'm like, the way that some of that the wording and everything is in that test, it's like that game. It's like that test was either based on values that were before women's rights or before disco was popular. I don't know which, but it's one of the two.
Here's the link. Oh, come on, dude. Just for fun.
If there are any women wondering, is this what guys do for fun? No, it is not. Source, I am a guy. You're beginning an adventure, which companion would bring into you? A resourceful links, sure. I don't care. Varying companions, your companion, word. Tired and need a rest where you spend the night. I don't care. A palace? Find a basket capable of creating any and all kinds of food out of thin air. What do? Make money. On the way home, you were ambushed. They grabbed your basket and your companion run in opposite directions. What do? I don't know. Chase the basket? I don't give a fuck. Here are the results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. Horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
Want me to send you dirty pictures?
Madam, your daughter is right next to you. Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just met you! Yes? Oh my god. No?
Boring.
It's gonna be a long day.
That was a test. You passed.
If I said yes, would you have hung up and called the cops? Because I'll be honest, before that, but considering how this started, I doubt that was the case.
We're going out on a date.
I don't... Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck is this bitch? I don't know.
Oh, don't play hard to get.
Hard to... Bitch, I just fucking met you! How do I not know that you're like a toddler or, I don't know, an actual, like, ugly dude in real life? Who the fuck are you?
We were brought together by an algorithm.
Oh, God. Are you one of those, I'm a Capricorn and I'm a Capricorn and I must be together with insert constellation here fucking type shit? Are you that type of girl?
We were meant to be.
I just fucking met you. Fuck off with that shit.
Let's have a yacht date.
Okay, how much money you got? Or are you expecting me to You know, is this game expecting me to fucking pay? Or is this her way of being, like, playful or joking?
Doesn't that sound romantic?
No, it doesn't. A yacht date?
Exactly. Okay. Let's meet at the central station and then find a yacht.
Wait, this is happening? What the fuck? Also, literally, this is the first conversation we had. And she already wants to have a date. Like, what? This is... Okay, there's something up about this. Please tell me that this is, like... I have things I like crazy women. I wouldn't say that. Sad, lonely, depressed, unrealistic. Do I? What's a yacht date? What now?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know what to expect with the combat, but this is honestly kind of weightless. I can kind of see what it means by Dark Souls, but that didn't really feel like Dark Souls. I'll take a guess. United States of America. Let me guess, the end of the world? What the fuck is Eternights? Like... I understand it's like a product or this is like a company and whatnot, but it's just like... There's no real introduction to, like, this company or anything. Why should I care about why all these facilities are malfunctioning? I'm ready for my date. Dude? You're wearing a shirt, and I think, like, you're not really... I guess I do, like... Oh, that's what you wear on a date? Wow. Eternights is a miracle drug. I guess, like, God, this is just cringy. It really is. I am hating this. Yeah, sure, I don't care. God. The animation on the cutscenes for part
Just saw a street blow up.
isn't all that bad, I guess.
I'm on my way to the shelter.
Be safe.
You too.
Oh!
Dude, what was up with that huge wall?
I guess it was made by one person, so... but the immediate cut to just being at the shelter just is a little
Where'd it come
disorienting.
from?
Dirty mech.
I managed to grab a few essentials before coming over.
Dude, we're both guys. I mean, if you swing that way, I'm flattered, but I don't.
Oh, by the way, do you have an extra toothbrush? Huh. Why is the...
Okay.
Hey, the world is ending, but at least we can make popcorn.
You know, normally people would be crying in a puddle of piss or something over the end of the world. And also, the end of the world, please tell me that when I was joking, it wasn't actually true.
You think we'll have roommates? Do you think they'll be girls?
Honestly, dude, I am legitimately starting to hate you. Just rest. I don't care.
Breaking news. A massive wall has appeared in the middle of...
Well, the world is ending, or Moses has brought the Jews. By the way, my pantry's not full enough.
The wall was that big?
I would have made a Donald Trump joke, but I felt like it was already too easy.
Dude, did you see all the people attacking each other?
A mysterious infection continues to spread across the globe.
I like the... Well, this is already quick now. Wow, I can't believe... Fucking... Honestly, I was fucking joking about this being the end of the world, but wow, they're actually getting serious. Okay, I don't know why the fuck this had to happen. There's no, like, lead-in or anything. There's not even, like, a... Like, sort of a... I don't know. Like, from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Not like a Roxxon we're here for you type deal. Where they show you, like, oh, this is a really nice company. But in reality, there's actually, like, some dark side to it or anything. Or some negative sides. This just happened. Why the fuck should I care? Really, like, why should I care about the whole apocalypse? Like, I get it, it's a terrible thing, but it's just like, so what? Why does that matter to me?
Again, the infected are aggressive and will attack on sight.
And also, what happened to that whole date situation that was happening before everything else was going on? At no point did this dude actually contact the girl he was, like, the girl that was hitting on him about this whole thing. At no point. Gotta feel like that's, maybe a bit of an oversight.
Stay inside.
Dude, are we infected?
Also, let's go back and look at that. A mysterious freshening continues to spread the globe. Again, the infected, like, stay inside. Yeah, this is not really written by someone who, knows how to write people. Because I would imagine if I would imagine if it was actually a legit report, it would say, a mysterious phenomenon is continuing to spread across the globe as pandemic rises and people left and right are becoming endangered. The Those who have been infected are reported to be aggressive pursuers and will attack any and all on sight. Authorities authorities have Authorities have advised everyone to stay inside and protect their loved ones protect their loved ones. Of ones. It's legitimately saying, trying to report on what is the pandemic that's happening, but stay inside. It feels very like demanding instead of actually like informative and trying to even reassure people.
I don't want to die.
Considering that people compare this to Persona, is this supposed to be the is this supposed to be like a trigger for him awakening into something? Take time. Like, it is blazing through so much of this. Oh my god, 4 days have passed. They really just wanted to get this shit over and done with, didn't they?
Okay, this is bad. What's that? This is really, really bad. Go close the door.
We can just stay here.
Do you think we're the only survivors left?
For the last time, stop talking about that.
We just saw a broadcaster get eaten.
Yeah, I could kind of tell that this was made by a first person. They basically used the same room for these people. They even have the same... They even have, like, the dirty mags piled up with fucking cans.
What if I'm next?
Could we just have 1 minute where we don't talk about dying?
When you were on TV, were you only pretending to be nice?
Wow. Both these characters are kind of bitches. Let me guess, that's the famous idol girl?
I'm going to go look around the shelter for my friend.
What? Forget your friend. She's probably dead too.
Wow, I mean, I guess in a situation like this, that probably makes sense to some people, but yeah, you're kind of a bitch.
Make it to the shelter.
How do you know?
Well, since you're so sure, you can stay here.
Wait for me.
Who the fuck are these girls and why should I care about them? Oh, I can't get a drink from the vending machine? Wow. My immersion is completely ruined.
We're leaving our room. I can hear footsteps.
Yeah, they're mine. Yeah, they're mine.
Oh, never mind. That's just us.
As always, you've been a grateful help, Connie.
Okay, dude. Just be ready to run if you hear anything, okay?
This is the I'm gonna be late for school type cliche, I imagine. Yep. Why are you What? Why are you wearing a dust mask and glasses? I think it's an apocalypse. I think whoever the fuck you are, you can risk having your image be revealed to the world. Which, let me guess, this is Yuna.
What? Yuna? Is that Yuna?
Wow, your disguise means jack shit.
What? Yuna? I'm not Yuna. I'm...
Who the fuck cares? It's an apocalypse.
There's no point in lying, is there?
I imagine this situation would probably be better if it wasn't the end of the world. Wow, fucking shocker. She's the idol.
Oh my god! It is Yuna!
Who cares who she is? We're all going to die soon. You're not helping, Lena. What are you doing then? You're the pop star. Do something. Damn it, Lena. The world is ending for me too.
So, are you guys with any other survivors?
No, it's just us.
He's gonna hit on them.
Awesome.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Who are you again?
She like that apparently, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm Johnny. This is my friend.
You're bleeding.
You're a detective too? That's corrigible? What? That's snarky, if anything. The fuck kind of courage is that shit?
Haha, very funny.
He didn't even want to go to your concert. He said, Johnny, I would rather lose myself in your eyes.
So, you're mad that I'm actually getting a girl to like me somehow, or a girl is talking to me, and you're trying to make me out to be worse so that you can look better. And this is not an incel because
It was a whole thing. We had a moment.
I'm gonna hate you. Expression, really?
What are you people doing?
Oh, you're right. I should ask for a selfie.
You're actually in your own little world, aren't you?
Have you seen a girl with long black hair and a mole under her left eye?
You mean Jisoo? The party queen.
Who the fuck are these people? Yeah, it's really nice that we just kind of jumped into the meat of things instead of actually getting introduced to anybody or give a fuck about anything. I legitimately don't care about any of these people here. And we're just kind of being thrown into shit.
The shelter has been compromised. Please make your way to B-15.
We need to look for B-15.
What the hell is that?
We're all going to die. Lena, how about we focus on surviving instead? We made...
Oh, yeah, that.
Let's hope the rest is too.
Sure glad they're fucking deaf.
These people don't look infected.
Huh. Why are all their right arms cut off?
There's a masturbation joke there, but I feel like even that's pulling too much.
This is sick. Poor people.
What sort of sick individual cuts off a person's right arm?
Sick individual. I would have accepted a monster, but that's interesting choice of word.
We're probably going to die before we reach the exit. Honestly, Lena, stop freaking out. You being nice to me would calm me down.
Wow, you're a total fucking bitch.
Eji duelio. Nan hangguan anha.
Lena, no! Officer, please help!
Oh, thank God. I mean, oh my God.
Guys, we gotta go. Run!
We can hide in those lockers!
What happens if I do nothing?
Why are you in here? Shh,
It...
don't answer.
What?
Hold your breath.
It chose for me. There's not even like a game over screen or anything.
I think he's gone. Let's get out of here.
He just walked away like 5 seconds ago. He's still around.
Yuna, are you okay?
I told her to calm down. I freaking told her. Why didn't... You're still hurt.
Well, you have your priorities, right?
I'm not a monster. Okay?
Well, I wasn't even thinking that. What? Where'd that come from?
What? You're a witch!
Shut up. I'm not a witch either. I think.
Then how did you get this power?
I met this strange woman.
How did you get this power? Or that's the first thing that comes to mind instead of what the hell did you just do? How did you even manage that? What's going on?
I've met strange women.
I'm surprised you're not even like judging her because she has this power and therefore she might be, I don't know, on their side or anything. Like, again, who the fuck are these people and why should I care?
In my dreams, Chani. And when I woke up, I had this power.
Wait, your dreams? How? Actually, tell me later.
There's B-15! We're almost there!
Of course the lights are going out.
Jump scare.
People!
What the? What was the point of the lights going out?
Please follow me.
What was the point of that shit? I honestly have expected a really lazy fucking jump scare, but this is somehow more disappointing.
I just... one thing. Is Jisoo-han in this shelter?
One moment. My apologies. Her name isn't in the register. However, the system is currently unstable. It's possible she's at another shelter. We really must get to the train outside. Now, please.
You know what this would have benefited from? Like, legitimately? I don't know, maybe having a scene where we see them at, like, see majority of them, like, at a party or something. Like, you know, or I don't know, maybe at an event, just, like, give us a legitimate reason to know who these characters are and introduce us to them. And who the fuck are you? Oh, you're evil.
Don't struggle. It'll just make things difficult for everyone.
Who are you?
Finally, I found you. I'm sorry.
Are you though? Okay, that was kind of a clean transition.
I told you yachts were super romantic.
This isn't a fucking yacht.
You feel the love in the air,
Who the fuck are you?
baby?
Oh god, don't fucking start with that shit. Oh, I'm hallucinating.
No, you're not. You're really on a date with me.
Can I just jump off the boat? Can I just literally just let me sink into the unending abyss that is this void? Because that honestly feels less painful than this interaction right now.
I'm super excited. The last date I was on was 800 years ago.
That's kind of sad. You're sad. Who are you?
I look much better than my profile picture, don't I?
Well, this is a fucking fantasy if I ever heard of it. So what is the moral here? If people have like really good looking profile pictures on dating apps, obviously they're lying because they look good IRL. What the fuck is this? Also, again, who the fuck are you and why should I care? Like, we literally just met a day in one day, and all of a sudden you want to go on a date and call me names and everything. Like, who the fuck are you?
By the way, you're still alive. I mean, barely. The silly little girl. Did she really think cutting off your arm could stop me?
Is there a significance to this or anything? Like, Or is this just one giant masturbation joke? Is this what this is?
I mean, congratulations. You've been chosen.
To lose my arm?
No, silly. Actually, maybe? Well, never mind. You have been chosen to join my team.
I don't know who the fuck you are. You're being way too flirtatious with me when I just barely even know you. And on top of that, you've explained jack shit.
Here are the benefits. Survival, unchecked power, having to fight a super powerful entity.
What now?
Don't worry about that.
So is this what they mean by this game is like a better Persona? Is she supposed to basically be the Igor of this game? Is that what's going on? Is this supposed to be like the Velvet Room and everything? Because I gotta tell you, I like the Velvet Room much more than this shit. I like Igor more than her.
Don't you want to be the hero that saves the world?
Oh, okay, yeah, this is an incel game. This is a main character syndrome game. At least with the fucking Velvet Room, they were like, yeah, there's gonna be a great disaster and calamity happening, and ultimately you have been chosen to wield the proper persona to hopefully stop the oncoming ruin. Like, it wasn't outright saying that you were supposed to be a hero, but it was setting you on this path to at the very least try to, like, the world was going to end, you couldn't stop it. And it was setting you on this path to at least try to prevent that.
Suffers tremendously and gets a parade?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Please work for me.
No.
Fine. I'll annoy you into working for me. I told you yachts were super romantic.
Great choice, game.
In the air?
Just love the fact that you scripted this so I can't avoid it. I love the fact that you just
You're really on
so instead of like just letting this game end with me dying
excited.
and just letting the credits roll,
Years ago.
you just ultimately decide to force me to play this game. I really love when games such as this games that have multiple choice options don't actually give you freedom of choice. Wow, that actually is kind of like Persona.
I mean,
Although, even Persona's defense, there is an agreement where you have to agree that it is a work of fiction, and if you don't, pretty much the game is over.
did she really? I mean, No, actually, you have been. Here are the benefits. Survival.
I'm not ready. No.
You are. Don't you want to be the who suffers
No.
tremendously and?
No.
Are you?
Yes.
Please.
No.
Fine.
The writing in this game is... I don't like the writing in this game.
I told you yachts were super romantic.
And I'm not seeing, like, any, like, changes or anything. This is, like, the third time, so I'm imagining more so. They're, like, okay, there have to be changes, right?
Baby. No, you're. than my pro. By the way, I mean, did she really? I mean, congratulations.
Okay, so anyone is wondering, like, dude, why don't you just say yes? Here's why. I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't know if they're supposed to be a villain or an actual hero. They haven't given me legitimate reason to get into any of this. Like, say what you will about, like, the Velvet Room and Igor, but when time came... But he ultimately gave the player a choice in terms of trying to, like, save the world and everything. Like, legitimately... Yeah, he came to you in a dream, but soon after, you encountered, like, a danger. And then it gave you, like, a legitimate reason as to why you should actually take up power. This feels like it's doing it ass backwards.
No, actually, here are the benefits. Survival. Having to fight.
What now?
Don't worry about that. Don't you want to be the hero who suffers tremendously
No.
and gets a...
No. This is like if this is supposed to be a case of like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to trust this girl, or you're supposed to trust her. This is one of the worst fucking written scenarios. Like, it's either too obvious or too fucking... Or it gives my skepticism way on a fucking high. Like, I am...
Please.
No, I don't want to work for you.
Fine. I told you yachts were super romantic.
This is gonna keep going legitimately until... I don't fucking like this. This game doesn't actually give me a freedom of choice. It wants me to play it the way I guess the developer wants to play it.
No, you're... I look much better than my... By the way, I mean... Did she really? I mean, congratulations. You have been chosen. Here are the benefits. Survival.
I don't like this in any way, shape, or form. I don't like this. I don't have any reason to care. I don't have any reason.
Suffers tremendous and...
No.
Are you... Good boy.
Whatever.
Survive first.
I imagine this probably it would have looked better, and the people who create it, this probably would look better in their head, as opposed to how it actually came out, because, dear God, the right arm being like the way he awakens and everything, it just feels incredibly cringy.
Yes!
happens if I just die? What happens if I just die? Ah, it just starts me back. Yeah, the combat really feels honestly weightless. If anything, it just kind of feels like it's trying to go for Devil May Cry
She's just using you.
instead of Dark Souls.
That's what she does. She uses people.
I don't care about any of you. Legitimately, I do not care about any of you.
Yes.
By the way, it should be noted, since you can't see, the entire time in this battle, I have been holding one hand on the controller. I really like that you can just do this one-handed instead of, like, I don't know, getting creative.
Yes.
Honestly, I think even, like, Dark Souls and Souls-like games putting a lot more effort into, like, their combat. Honestly. Yeah, I honestly think, like, when it comes to games like Dark Souls, there's a lot more effort put into its combat. Like,
Yes.
it feels way too simplistic and weightless. That's how the combat feels. Yeah, that wasn't really all that fun.
Why don't you just...
Honestly, as far as art direction goes, this really isn't all that great. Like, I'm not really too a fan of just how the coloring is utilized. Like, okay, yeah, it's got it. Like, yeah, it's pointing out the obvious, but that's all it feels like. I don't really, and it's signified like red is bad and blue is good. Like, okay, but
Dude,
there, that just feels, it feels very surface level in terms of the colors.
Hey, you're alive. Calm down. Look, I know onboarding can be difficult, so... You see that ugly, disgusting tree? That is Umbra. Her rat broke in here and stole the stone. The stone is the source of everything. I've used it pretty well, if I might add. And you're the result.
A lot of this writing sounds like it was written by someone who is a fan of either Persona or Dark Souls, but also has never really written much of anything before.
But now, Umbra wants to awaken the stone and use it to ruin...
Because
everyone.
it's a very by the numbers surface level
Under
story.
any circumstances, let that happen.
Like, okay, like if they get a hold of the stone, okay.
If that happens, everything you know will change.
Change how? Acceptance?
Are architects
I guess technically.
of the human mind and soul. Humanity can only have one of us awake at a time.
Okay, so if you're both the same, who's to say that you're a good person?
How do we decide who stays awake and who sleeps?
You're already speaking like you're a heel turned villain, honestly.
Well, if the stone is used by an architect, it can force another architect to sleep.
Really? You sure that is the case and it's not, you know, being able to control humanity and manipulate others?
And if I fall asleep, everything and everyone you know will change.
Okay, change, but it's just like... How is that a bad thing? Change is neither good nor bad.
I love who we are.
Oh, is this the message? Is that she ultimately wants people to stay the same and not to change and everything, need to be like they used to be? And the reality of the message is ultimately people change and it's a part of life as we get older? Is that the fucking message?
So, you are going to help me stop her by retrieving the stone for me.
I haven't agreed to anything. Really. I haven't agreed to anything in this deal. What if I just say no now?
Unfortunately, she created these walls between us and the stone.
She's ultimately assumed that I've just decided to work for her.
See that depressing, tiny, tiny little dot?
No, it's tiny, and why are you using words like disgusting and tiny? Like, I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, it's just like, you're supposed to be this omnipotent deity, this being, right? And she's written like she's, I don't know, in fucking high school or a middle schooler.
That's you!
You're a bit mean.
No, I'm not.
You're actually kind of a horrible person, I will honestly say that.
I've put my power into your arm.
You're honestly like a social media user. She's coming off like a social media
And
user.
transport it behind the walls. And do it quickly. Because, we don't have a lot of time.
How long?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, this is... How long?
I said don't worry.
How long?
Shut up and focus on getting through the first wall, damn it.
No! up, bitch! I want to know how fucking long!
Do not fail me.
Dude, are you alright?
Do you remember the... Okay, that's it. I'm done. I gave this a shot. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and here I am. Yeah, I'm not liking it. I don't give a fuck about any of the characters. The story just wants me to want to force me into playing a specific way. The writing is cringy as fuck. Like, it is either written by... This either seems like it was written by someone who spends their entire life online, or it was written by a girl who thinks this is how dating is and how guys act. And quite frankly, I don't know what I'm more pissed by. This feels like it was written by someone... But overall, this feels like it was written by someone who... like, was immersed in, like, Reddit, Twitter, 4chan culture and everything, and then just tried to... I don't even know what the fuck 4chan does, but it feels like it was someone who was immersed by, like, social media and tried to make a game around, like, all the memeage and everything, but also tried to go for what Persona and I guess even Dark Souls did. But it has missed the mark, honestly. Like, I haven't even played, I guarantee you, I haven't even played Dark Souls, and I can already tell Dark Souls is a lot more difficult and more complex with its control schemes and combat and everything than this. Hell, I've played Souls-like before, and those games are tough as hell, but there's a lot of, like, creativity to go with it. There's a lot more variety to have to it. Ugh. No, hang on. Fucking, you know what I want to do? I want to look up some of these reviews. Because this game has gotten, like, 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. Like, people seem to fucking love this game. So I want to know, what do people say about it? I legitimately need to know. Okay. Let me get the reviews up. Where is it? Okay, here it is. All right, let's look at the positives. One of the first ones I see is they just copy Persona. Thank God someone finally did that. Well done. Let's look at this one. My review is picked up tracking. Okay, I'm really torn on this one. I'm giving a positive rating, but just barely. Eternights is a game I feel could have used another year or two in the oven. It has a lot of great ideas. That's generous to put it. Some of which are executed are a bit on the dry side. That's, again, generous to put it. A combat is a mix of Tokyo, Xanadu, EX, plus action mixed with Souls-like dodge and parry mechanics. I don't know. I feel like the dodge was legitimately. It feels more like they try to copy games in the same line of like Punishing Gray Raven, where you dodge and you get like a bit of like you get a bit of like slow time for it, like time dilates around you. It feels like a worse version of that though. I asked this game clear to take influence from the Persona series with social links, romantic interests, a calendar system, etc. Okay, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think Persona is the first game to do what it does. I legitimately don't. I think it's one of the most popular games, but I don't think it's one of the first games to do it. And when it comes to its like multiple choice options and social links, like its social stats and everything, already I can tell it does a piss poor job of it. It's sort of it like I think one of the biggest examples of this is like I think Persona 4 actually kind of did what this game was doing better. This game was trying to do, but better. Because Persona 4 actually had like dialogue options where legitimately like you can up your courage, you can up your like knowledge and everything. You can do that, but there's stuff where it's like but contextually speaking, there was like moments where it felt legitimately like it actually like mattered. Like if you were to go into just a normal like you had the option to go into like the TV world for the first time, and one of your options was to legitimately just like go into the fire, and that would actually up your courage. Like that stuff like that I get that makes stuff choices like that makes sense. Other aspects of the game with social links and counter system, etc. Yeah. Up front, I'd like to say that the voice acting for the most part is actually pretty good. Okay, I will say, yeah, I don't want to put any hate on like the actors or actresses because I think they got some pretty decent actors and actresses through this. I don't think it's the actors and actresses' fault for this. I think it's the writing. My major gripes with the game is it's just well too easy, even on the hardest difficulty. For me, I don't think it's like really too easy in the grand scheme of things, as much as it is like too. I guess cheesable. It feels too like the combat lacks weight, and also it feels very. It feels very like. It feels very one track. It feels in the same vein. I don't want to compare it to this, but it feels like the same vein as Yandere Simulator, where the game. You could tell the dev wants you to play the game a specific way. Legitimately, it gave me a multiple choice option, and I chose nothing, and it ended with me choosing the girl. Which tells me that the dev wants you to romance the girls, and wants you to be with the girls. I imagine if I actually went with a guy in that scenario, it would have done one of two things. Either it would have made a joke about how, hey, dude, don't make this weird, or anything. Oh god, I'm with a guy, ew, don't make this weird. Or, it would have just default to me choosing the girl. Like, when it comes to the combat, though, it's just, it feels very lackluster. It does feel very lackluster. It feels very weightless. It feels very weightless. This is a major problem because all the fancy social link events are meant to give you points and rank up your connections to make you stronger, but well, you don't really need to be stronger at all. Dodging is extremely easy as the timing is very lenient. I don't know if this is because of my experience with Souls games, but from beginning to end, I never felt like I was in danger or even challenged. Honestly, the only difference from the beginning of the game to the end is that enemies have a bit more HP, so sure, if you level up your social links, things will die a bit faster, but honestly, it doesn't matter. As a result of the lackluster difficulty, I found myself just spamming through days and nights by going to bed just to progress during long, nothing-to-do segments, which have very tiny story elements sprinkled into them where you're meant to be upping your social links and earning points to get stronger. Some of these empty segments are just too long. I think the longest is around 14 days, which took like 45 minutes just to jump through. I'd also complain about the game being short, but given the fact that I spanned through wait periods already, I probably wouldn't have bothered to finish the game if it was 30 hours long or something. On another note, one suggestion to the dev would be add red circles on the enemies, green, yada yada yada. Again, the game isn't hard, but I found that to be a bit of an annoyance. Oh, there are times you can't tell who is who during moments where a lot... Yeah, okay, yeah. I would say in terms of like the art direction and everything, that is like there's not even like an outline. There's not even like associated outline to showcase like a friend and enemy. Like you can't even tell who is and isn't because the game isn't properly like lit up to showcase that. Beyond what there's it just isn't a lot to keep you invested. The game starts off really well in my opinion. I disagree. But as the story progresses, it just begins to feel hollow and empty, uninspired even. The demo, for instance, hooked me completely. I was completely engrossed, wondering what comes next, and when it ended, I was rabid for more. Sadly, my interest plummeted shortly after buying the full game. To me, it feels almost 99% of the effort went to the first 45 minutes, and the developer couldn't figure out where to go from there. If the effort went to the first 45 minutes, I already don't like it. Now the characters. Honestly, I didn't feel a connection to a single one of them. Thank you. I agree 100% during any point of the game. Not to mention, Canny is the most annoying character I ever endured in any video game. Canny is so bad. In fact, he doesn't even make it to the game logo banner artwork. Gee, maybe it's because this game is made by someone who wanted to just fulfill their harem fantasy. Like, they don't like guy. It's just the guy is just there to be there. Speaking of artwork, I would like to add that the anime-style animated scenes, as short and rare as they are, as well as the stills, are very, very well done. Certainly can't knock the game for those. They're alright. I've seen better, and I don't know who they got for it, but it could have been worse. It could be better. So to Gears, I'm very sad to see that you spent 99% of your time you aren't in dungeons on a small, boring, lifeless train, which further enhanced my desire to, oh my god, hurry up, this is lame, through everything that wasn't a fight. Seriously, the train feels like you're stuck in a jail cell. It's unappealing, dreary, and claustrophobic. Which I feel like in the grand scheme of things, this probably was inspired by Persona 5. Although for that was kind of the point. Like Shibuya and everything, it's supposed to feel like claustrophobic. It's supposed to feel crowded and packed and everything. So I kind of feel like this game takes a lot of inspiration from Persona 5 in terms of what it was trying to do. Sure, a case could be made that the train fits the central theme of the game and that's more immersive than our alternatives to my theme, but I still don't like anything about it. Finally, the ending, it's a total cop-out, no spoilers, but come on, Dad, you could see it coming a mile away. I imagine if you've played Persona, and if judging from just how that cutscene happened with the girl, yeah, it was, let me guess, fucking, the whole girl you were working for is the big final boss, and she doesn't want people to change because she's got her head too far up her own ass to actually change herself. She doesn't like people changing because she can't actually land a fucking boyfriend. My final is regarding 7 out of 10. I was going to 6 out of 5, but I think it's a little too harsh. If this would have been made, it's 6 out of 10, but since it's a solo endeavor in terms of a I think it deserves a bit more. I don't. Just because it was made by a single person doesn't automatically mean that it deserves, like, a sympathetic pity. It doesn't deserve pity. That's what I will say. And I like, people want to be like, well, I'd like to see you make a story by yourself on your own. Look, I may not know how to make a game, but I sure shit know how to know what it does to make a story, because I've made one before. I've made a 4-part series when I was a child. And I guarantee you, it's fucking shit. But just because I made it by myself doesn't mean that people should just go, well, you did this by yourself, so you should deserve the benefit of the doubt here. You were just working alone. Like, no, it's fucking shit. Bravo, Deb. I won't pretend I could make anything like this myself. Everything starts off okay, but that said, certain story beats feel tacked on for the sake of filler content. It could have really stood out to be fleshed out and be more meaningful content. Yeah. Can't really decide to play this game. Do you remember the porn we stole from Grandpa? Dude, we stole a lot of porn from my grandpa. Dark Souls boss fight with dating sim. Yeah. Connie is literally me. I love him so much. Oh my god. I can tell the type of people who... 9 members to begin with. Yada yada yada. while holding right trigger. Definitely recommended. That's what being single do to a man. See supremacy. Yada yada yada. It's kind of obvious. Okay. I looked at the positive. Let's look at the negative. Or if you're just very curious. What does this one do? This game has some promise, but by other reviews, it is drastically overhyped. I kind of agree, honestly. I've seen this game being compared to Sonic and Dark Souls, and I question if people have actually played those games. That's a good question. Have they played them? The story is very bland. There is no interest in why I should care about the apocalypse is the main thing I interact with their people, which so far is only 2 characters. I say that because you have Yuna, who is just tsundere waifu bait that has a decent personality, and then you have Connie. This dude is insufferable. You go from being your bro to him worry about your death and how he wouldn't be able to save you to... I don't even know what that word is. About how you lost your arm and got a cool power of it all within 30 minutes. It doesn't help this game. A lot. This game is clunky and the dialogue is also clunky. Poorly written, I would say. The combat is also very bad. You can basically spam your attacks to win fights. No cool combos or anything. So I would have already disliked this game. There is a slow time mechanic where you dodge, which is just broken from the beginning, making you invisible to damage for a short while. The boss fights are laughable. You basically spam your attack until you charge up the super cool quick time event attack, which you have to do 2 to 3 times before actually damaging the boss. Also, the fact that you have to wait to pull out your weapon is so annoying. The animations are sort of mediocre at best. I don't know why Kenny runs like he has a stick up his ass, but it's goofy and looks bad, along with some other cutscenes and their skin looking pink for some reason. Oh brother, the amount of talking is also absurd. I feel like I spend more time listening to exposition than I do actually playing the game. The game wants to give a tutorial on the little things, but when it comes to the training minigames, it throws you to the wolves, wraps up the rewards, or lack thereof, that you get and skips to the next day quickly. Oh, for people hoping this is different than your generic anime, the first thing that happens once you get to progress relationships with your allies is you walking in on a girl changing. Why am I not surprised something like that would happen? The only positive I can give this is the CG art scenes are well drawn. Okay, yeah. I am not sure why a game was made out of this one. A webtoon would have been a better way to convey the story without headache actually playing the game. Yeah, it feels like a Korean erotic manhwa subpar was made into a game. That's what it feels like. Way too many elements are just in this game are just bare bone. It takes different ideas and gaming mechanics from various games, for example Persona, and also instead turn-based combat. Instead of turn-based combat, this game is focused on real-time combat with a parry and a dodge. This all sounds fun in game, but the problem is that it's just a bare minimum. And it feels a little, just little effort and depth has gone into these elements. The game itself is quite short, which not a bad zone, especially for 30. I'm imagining that's British pound, but it just feels like it's not worth the money and the time. Same goes for character story and out of combat interactions with said characters. You can date every girl and one guy. You can date one guy? I'm guessing that's Connie. But all of them are one-dimensional and boring. Most reviews here criticize the ending, while I barely remember what happened and also why most of the things happened. Just to summarize, it's a terrible game. The combat is fine if it's a little clunky and repetitive, but it's overall definitely not worth the 30-pound price tag. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. This game sucks. And I know people are going to get on my case. It's just like, well, I mean, so it was made by one person, or it was made by a handful of people. It's not like a AAA game. That doesn't mean shit to me. If you really want to bring up the whole it was made by one person thing, supposedly Bright Memory was made by one person. It's one of the, honestly, it's one of the best games I've ever played. Undertale was made by one person, and a lot of people, and like ultimately it should go without saying how many people flocked to that. I don't, this, look, the reason why I'm harsh on this and the reason why I'm not giving the developer or the developers pay for this is because legitimately I don't think this game is worth it. And the reason for that is because if I absolutely admit that this game is worth it, you know what that says to me? What that says to me is that this is going to go to their heads. And that this is ultimately like the standard going forward. That they, alongside other people who make games in the same vein and whatnot, should take notes from this. And that this should be the standard. And it's just like, I look at this and I'm like, no. This game is lackluster. It has a lot that it could work on, and the writing is honestly just, it's fucking cringy. I would have probably given this points if it, like, legitimately was more sort of like a Souls-like where, like, Souls-like, or hell, if it was sort of like a Nier Automata-like, where where depending on what you do, you can actually just end the game and whatnot, and just end the game early. I know Nier Automata wasn't the first to do it, but fucking hell, like, it's just something. But this game has a one-track mind from the looks of it, and that one-track mind is very, like, uwu anime-esque style. Like, it feels very cringy. It feels very, like, it doesn't even feel like it's, like, look, I got no problem. Here's the thing. I got no problem with, like, cliches and tropes being used. And people want to know, it's like, okay, well, like, you just don't, I imagine people are probably going to be saying, like, oh, well, you just don't like any of, like, this game is a callback to, like, a lot of the cliches and tropes from old anime. You just don't like that it's doing that. Motherfuckers, you probably haven't seen some of the stuff I actually do like. One of that which being Mighty Mashita Imakun, which is one of the most unoriginal, cliche, trope-filled anime manga series out there. And it's fucking great. The reason I like that series is because I like the characters. I like what it does with the story elements. It doesn't just copy and paste. It feels legitimately like the story, like there's a point to it, and there's something to address, and like there's actually something to take from it. And it feels like the person who was people who were making it actually had a point to it and actually wanted to do something with it. This doesn't. It doesn't to me. It feels legitimately like they watched some anime, they saw maybe gameplay footage of Persona and whatnot, they saw gameplay footage of Dark Souls and went, you know what? I can do that too. Because it feels like it is just sort of copy and pasting without doing the same. Like, okay, you want to know an example of a game that has done sort of like, it was sort of like added elements of Persona, but did it in its own way, and was also a lot more simpler and everything? Haven. Haven was made by an indie game studio, and the game, I would argue, is like is a bit more low budgeted, and there's not a whole lot to do in the grand scheme of things, but at the same time, it's like the writing feels legitimately well done. The gameplay is very simple to latch onto, and it's also very immersive of the turn-based strategy type game, where it incorporates like turn-based but also real-time combat in simultaneously. So I really like that. Like, it feels legitimately like they took the aspects of dating sims and turn-based strategy alongside more of these exploration adventure games and went with it. And it feels legitimately satisfying to play through. This feels like it just feels like it's trying to copy what other games and whatnot have done, instead of like just instead of just trying to go, okay, I see what this is do. Why don't we just expand on it? The characters are completely forgettable and unlikable to me. I don't care about any of them. There's not, and this game doesn't really give me a reason as to why I should care. It really doesn't. Like, I would have, like, I don't know. Is this? Are they supposed to be like in high school, or are they supposed to be in college or something? Like, who are these characters supposed to be? At the very least, like, I would have preferred something like, I don't know, maybe a party scene where everyone is out and about, and we start to like actually like learn a little more about these characters and get interested into it, so that when the oh so terrible apocalypse happens, then we actually like we start to understand these characters a little more. Like, okay, for example, right? This game has a big emphasis on dating and everything. You could have put more emphasis on how certain people will just put like on this mask, or just put on this facade for others that they're interested in. And then when something like, I don't know, the end of the world happens, you see that actually get torn down. You actually see that mask get like taken apart. And then you see who they really are. Like, that would have been interesting. That would have been interesting to delve into, but I don't think that's the concern of this story. I really don't. It feels very obvious what this story is about, and it doesn't deliver to me. It doesn't. Apparently there are people that have said this is copy Persona. Honestly, I do not think this. I think this is, if anything, this is tried to. This is like the. How do I phrase it? This is like it heard or it saw sort of like highlights of what Persona's dialogue was in its own way, and then went, you know what, I'm gonna do nothing but that, or I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do. It's like Persona, except this is it's different. It's like it feels like it's trying to be something else, but better. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's trying to be Persona, but better. It feels like it's trying to be Dark Souls, but better. That's what it feels like to me. And I can assure you, if your intention is that, you are going to fail immensely. Like, it's perfectly fine to take inspiration and notes from other games and whatnot, sure. But when it comes to, like, actually delivering a full package, like, trying to make your game like something else but better, you're just gonna fail miserably. You are. This game is a prime example of that. I think this absolutely failed miserably. I do. But apparently a lot of people disagree, and this has apparently done numbers for it in terms of sales. So, I want to say this. If the developers of Eternights actually watch this, I doubt it, but if they actually watch this and they legitimately, like, or it got to this point, well, first off, thank you for listening to my criticisms. But second off, if you're gonna make another game, I ask that legitimately you up the budget. I don't necessarily mean in visuals. I mean in terms of who's working for you. Have people that sort of share, like, if you have an idea for what you want to do down the line. Like, as here's the thing. Here's ultimately the problem with people saying that this is like Persona and everything. You can tell early on the developers had a point that they wanted to address, and the game throughout, the majority of it helped support it. For the most part. Like, okay. let's take like Persona 5 for instance, right? I've criticized Persona 5 in the past, but let's take it for instance. What is interesting about it though is like at the beginning we're introduced to a character that is that is sort of a troublemaker, but he's in trouble with the law and he committed crimes and everything. And then when we learn more about him in the prologue, we learn that apparently he did the right thing, but apparently he got in trouble for it, and he was framed for he was framed for an assault, and he got a criminal record. Already, even without saying it, you can already tell that the world that these characters are living is unfair. You can tell that this world is unfair, and that it like the fact that people are okay with it, like that's the big thing. That's the point. It's like you're not supposed to be okay with it. With this, it feels like it tried to be a dating sim, but then end of the world happened. And it doesn't really feel like it doesn't really feel like both stories coincide. It really doesn't. Or coincide is the right word. It doesn't really feel like both stories are on equal level. That's what it feels like. It feels like end of the world, but I'm gonna get all these cool powers, be the hero, and have a bunch of girls flocking to me. That's what it feels like. And look, if this game is something that people legitimately like, this is what makes them happy, okay, fine. More power to you, I guess. But if you're legitimately telling me that this is one of the best games out there, that is objectively false. I absolutely 100% you're wrong. But for the devs, if they're actually watching this, like, I would say, brainstorm sort of like an idea that could be tackled that maybe games like Persona haven't tackled. Like the idea of the idea of going for more of like a dating sim and having more of like where you're a protagonist and you're like dating other girls and everything. Like that's an interesting idea. That is an interesting idea that you could go with. Maybe you could have a story around how love isn't the end all be all, or maybe you could have a story around how not everybody and there's not like you're like the whole idea of like star-crossed lovers or like fated for love is bullshit. Like just you can legitimately experiment with the idea of like romance and dating. Hell, like again, like I brought up, Haven did this prior. But like if you're gonna be doing something like this, like brainstorm the idea, but also like maybe move away from the cringy dialogue. I don't know how else to put it, because like maybe actually have better character writing, better way to address the story and exposition. And if you're gonna be doing like a game like Persona, like I don't know, maybe have more things to do for downtime. Like say what you will about like okay, as much as I get on like Persona 5 and whatnot and everything, at the very least there's a lot to do and everything that can occupy my time. So even if I am bored doing the same stuff, like social links and whatnot, I can still do other stuff to occupy my time. And yeah, I have criticized that for being like it's doing too much all at once, but in comparison to this, it feels like legitimately it feels like if you're going to do what Persona does, you would benefit from having more like stuff in it. it feel like, because the thing about this game is it feels very one track. It feels very much like, yeah, you can do like you can play like Persona and whatnot, but it feels very much one track minded. It feels very much like you're supposed to play the game the way the dev wanted you to play it. So yeah, if the devs are listening and you're gonna make this game, like, legitimately build on this, like, improve like the writing of the dialogue more. Maybe like actually hire on people who like know what it takes to make like a good immersive gameplay loop and combat. Because I honestly have to say, like, the gameplay loop in this is not really all that interesting or memorable. Like, I guess some enemies do have, like, certain abilities, but it's just, like, it feels very... Like, for the most part, like, I come across I guess I came across enemies that were, like, shooting projectiles, but they just stand in place. And there's, like, for the enemies that I've come across, like, they just, who just wanted to attack me, they just stood still. Like, it feels like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, and this is what irks me, is like people saying this is like Persona meets Dark Souls. If you really wanted to make this a Dark Souls game, you would have been more relentless. You could have been more relentless. You could have been more, like, creative with how you, like, have enemies attack people. Like, it doesn't really feel like it doesn't really feel like this game, if anything, has earned the right to be called a Persona-like or a Souls-like. So yeah, like, legitimately, if you're gonna make another game, improve on it. Like, do better. Like, just improve, just maybe the gameplay loop, improve the story, improve the characters. This, I don't know how much money this game has made, but from the sounds of just how many people seem to, like, just blindly like this game, I imagine this must have made its money back and then some. So, if you're gonna make another game, like, legitimately, go bigger with this. Like, actually get better with this. Because if I find out that, you know, the same people who made this game made another game, but it's still, like, the same cringy-ass dialogue and whatnot, or if it's just, like, if it's the same level of effort, or same level of effort in terms of development, but if visually it looks better, yeah, I'm not gonna be looking forward to it. Honestly, I honestly think that this game is not good. I don't. And I'm not going to mince words or anything. This game sucks. This game needed... It's not that it needed more time in the oven. It's that it needed... It needed more people. Like, it needed more it needed more input from, like, other people. Like, that's what I feel like. Because it feels very much like much of this game was sort of, like, a first draft game in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of the writing, a lot of the combat, it feels very first draft. And I don't know how long this game was in development for. And, you know, it at least is commendable that at the very least it did come out, which is more than I could say for some games. But, yeah, it just feels like... It feels very first draft in a lot of ways. Like, okay, we need to have a game around dating. Okay, well, have characters in a room talking about dating instead of dating before. Well, we need to have this person who is looking for, like, a dream, is looking for, like, their one true love and everything. Okay, we'll just have them be, like, love struck immediately and everything. Oh, well, we need to have the end of the world happen. Okay, just have it happen. Oh, well, we need to have, like, the main character be this all-powerful protagonist. Oh, we'll just have it happen. Like, why it's happening? For what purpose? When? Who? What? It's just, like, it doesn't matter. Legitimately. And this is something I imagine if you were to, like, take a class on, like, you know, storytelling and everything, I imagine one of the biggest questions that would probably come up to mind and everything is, so what? Like, okay, the apocalypse is happening. So what? Why should I care? Oh, this character died. So what? Why should I care? Oh, well, this character gets to be a hero in this apocalypse. So what? Why should I care? What is the point? What is the point of why I should give a damn? I could accept this game if it was, like, legitimately, like, it's so bad, it's entertainingly bad. But it's just painful to sit through. And on top of that, it's also, I'm not gonna lie, kind of boring. This game was not worth the money to me. I legitimately do not regret just stopping. I regret paying for it. But here's the thing, too. Legitimately, I am going to be playing in a week. I am going to be playing Persona 3 Reload. In a week, if Persona 3 Reload does not hit me as much as this game, I legitimately think that maybe it is me. Maybe I am the problem. But legitimately, if Persona 3 Reload is as good as I'm thinking it's going to be, or better, then it might not be, then it might not be me that's the problem in grand scheme of things in terms of what I like or what I enjoy. It might just be this game in particular. But yeah. That's gonna do it, I guess. I'm getting a refund on this game. I did not like playing this at all. This is... I would have... I could have had the... I had the choice to pick a few different things, and I chose to pick this. This, like, it's not even, like... Here's the thing, too. It's just... In the grand scheme of things, yeah, I'm kind of pissed off. And yeah, this is kind of painful, but at the same time, it's just, like... It's disappointing. That's the thing. I have played other games that have absolutely been, like, train wrecks. I have played games that have sucked. I have played games that have legitimately felt painful to play through. And this is just a disappointment to me. Because I look at this and I'm like, you could have done more with this. You could have legitimately done more with this. Even if you didn't have, like, a lot of people backing you with this, you could have still done more with this. This could have, I guess, this could have, like, benefited from a few rewrites. A few rewrites, honestly. I feel like this could have benefited from that. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna take off. I guess, follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. You can go to ArtStation for my portfolio. Support me at ko-fi.com/jarsosja if you want to. Yeah. I didn't like this.